Hi there, welcome to Lux Attic. In today's video, we'd like to show you the 20 best Ferraris ever made, in our opinion. Even if you've lived in a cave for the past decades, you still know Ferraris are the most impressive cars the world has ever known. The Italian supercar maker has achieved a legendary, almost mythical status in the automotive world, beyond what any other car maker could have dreamt. For over 70 years, Ferrari has made dreams come true. For most of us it has created lust and desire like no other car brand has ever done, leaving us all day dreaming about driving the prancing horse one day. While the original purpose was to beat the Alfa Romeos that dominated most motorsport events back in the day, Ferrari began producing road-going cars as well, borrowing technology and expertise from its racing division and pairing it with Enzo Ferrari's vision for what a beautiful car should look like. Since 1947, Ferrari has created countless car models that have become iconic over the years, getting the brand the rich racing heritage and legendary status they have today. But among those numerous Ferraris, there are several which have transcended any standard of beauty the automotive world might have had, before Enzo Ferrari decided to make his dream come true by creating the best racing cars in motorsport. With that in mind, let's take a closer look at what we think are the best Ferraris ever made. 20. Ferrari 599 GTO. The third and last Ferrari to be fitted with the GTO badge, after the 250 GTO and the 288 GTO, the 599 GTO came in a limited edition of only 599 units. The interior was minimalist, featuring only Alcantara, mesh, and carbon fiber, with no trace of leather. Under the hood, the naturally aspirated 6.0-liter V12, the same that was fitted on the Enzo, came retuned and produced a whopping 652 horsepower, making the 599 GTO stand out from the crowd even today. 19. Ferrari 360 Modena. The Ferrari 360 Modena, successor of the F355, came as a successful move from Ferrari to reinvent themselves for the new millennium, since their status had begun to fade since their stunning creations of the 80s. The 360 Modena looked modern and ready for the contemporary style of the 2000s, featuring improved aerodynamics and an all-aluminum construction. The design was in line with new period and managed to put Ferrari back in top. The car was powered by a 3.6-liter V8, able to output 400 horsepower, making it fast enough for its beauty. 18. Ferrari 812 Superfast. Fast forward to our days, we've got the 812 Superfast, which is probably Ferrari's last stand against the electrification of the automobile, and also the Italian carmaker's fastest and most powerful creation to date, sporting a naturally aspirated 6.5-liter V12 with 789 horsepower under the hood, and a top speed of 211 miles per hour. With its superb aesthetic and stunning aerodynamic shape, the 812 Superfast will make for a glorious end of the gas-powered supercar era. 17. Ferrari 430 Scuderia. The 430 Scuderia is a bare-bones racing horse, a mid-engine V8 car with automated F1 gearbox, which brings homage to Ferrari's Grand Prix racing team. The naturally aspirated 4.3-liter V8 is capable of bringing to life all its 503 horsepower with a sound you can't help but love. Comfort wasn't a priority for Ferrari, so don't expect too much from the 430 Scuderia. It's, as we said earlier, a bare-bones racing car, with just a metal plate for a floor, no air conditioner, no radio, no nothing. Though it has those steering-mounted shift lights to indicate the right moment to shift the gear. 16. Ferrari 550 Maranello. While the 550 Maranello isn't among the sexiest Ferraris out there, it's one of the best sounding, with that beautiful roar of its front-mounted naturally aspirated 5.5-liter V12. And when you're on your way to put to work all those 485 horses and hit that 199 miles per hour top speed, you won't even care you're driving one of the more uglier Ferraris. The aesthetic might be lacking a little bit in the Maranello, making it underwhelming for what a Ferrari usually looks like, and the front-mounted engine makes for so much space in the back for luggage, which isn't necessarily why you'd buy a Ferrari. 15. Ferrari 458 Speciale. The 458 Speciale is the last of the naturally aspirated V8s that Ferrari created, and of their best, with an exterior design that nears perfection, and a nice package of technical features. the Italian heart beats with a whooping 605 horsepower, and paired with its most impressive piece of tech, the side slip control, which combines the car's traction control with the rear differential to let you adjust your driving style, makes for a very nice driving experience, even if somewhat irresponsible. Nonetheless, the Ferrari 458 Speciale is one of the all-time best sports car mankind ever created. 14. Ferrari Dino 246 GT. The Dino 246 GT is one of the most beautiful and sexiest cars of all time, and probably one that has turned more heads than any other car during its lifetime with its curvaceous body. Dino in itself wasn't technically a Ferrari, but a sub-brand of it, but it was made in the same factory and named for Enzo Ferrari's deceased son. The 246 GT was the apogee of the short-lived Dino badge, but an undeniable legend, sporting a nimble 2.4-liter V6 that made it better than that era's Porsche 911, and a much sexier and sleek exterior. 13. Ferrari 330 P4. After the defeat suffered at Le Mans in 1966, when Ford beat them by occupying all the 3 podium positions, Ferrari began redesigning its 330 P3 for next year's competition. The result, the 330 P4, was the most beautiful mid-engine Ferrari of all time, and one that would win a 1-2-3 finish at the 1967 24 Hours of Daytona. Unfortunately, despite its 4.0-liter V12, the 330 P4 was dominated by the new GT40 Mark IV Ford at Le Mans, finishing only second and third. The 330 P4 was the last great Ferrari endurance race car ever built, and only 4 of them were made. Today, there's only one remaining in its original form, and there's no chance you'll ever get your hands on it. 12. Ferrari 500 F2. Going further back in time, the Ferrari 500 F2 is a spectacular tube-frame car with which the Italian brand started its dominance in Formula One back in 1952. Equipped with a 2.0-liter inline-4 capable of 185 horsepower, the racer was rocket for its times, and taking a good look at its design, you can take that literally. 11. Ferrari 308 GTS. It's not the most stylish, nor the fastest, but the 308 GTS is probably the archetypal Ferrari, with a mid-engine design and open targa roof. This classic legend, with its naturally aspirated V8 roaring behind you, built a cult following, thanks to its appearance in the Magnum P.I. TV series. But that doesn't mean it's not impressive without that fame. 10. Ferrari 288 GTO. Following on the success of its predecessor back in the early 60s, the 288 GTO was another car from Ferrari that deserved to wear the legendary name. Produced between 1984 and 1987 and simply called Ferrari GTO, it was initially homologated for Group B racing, but before it could do any racing, regulations changed, and the new GTO took all its racing skills and state-of-the-art technologies to the streets. The modern and more aggressive lines of its chassis, plus the intimidating performance coming out of its 2.9-liter twin-turbocharged, longitudinally mounted 400 horsepower V8, made the 288 GTO an incredible machine. 9. Ferrari 360 Challenge Stradale. The 360 Challenge Stradale is similar in looks to the 360 Modena, but it's a different story inside, especially with its extra horsepower coming from the 3.6-liter V8, going up to 425 in total, an F1 gearbox and huge carbon ceramic brakes like those the Enzo comes equipped with. In short, the 360 Challenge Stradale barely met road legal standards, which is why it's one of the most prized Ferraris out there. The exposed metal floor and exposed welding for where your feet should be positioned mean business, while the Spartan interior comes stripped of all nonsense features like air conditioner or radio. But what truly shows you're in a racing-ready machine is the naked steering wheel, with no buttons or knobs. 8. Ferrari 365 GTB/4 Daytona. Getting its moniker from the 24 Hour of Daytona where Ferrari placed 1, 2, and 3 a year prior to this model's debut, the 365 GTB/4 is one of the poshest and most comfortable Ferraris ever made. Coming with an old-school design with a front-placed V12, rear-wheel drive, the unique-looking 365 GTB/4 with its long angular nose stirred controversy at first, but eventually became considered the best front-engine V12 car of all time. And judging by its 352 horsepower and the highest top speed of any production car back in the late 1960s when it came out, it was an incredibly performant machine, better than its rival, the Lamborghini Miura P400. 7. Ferrari 250 GTO. One of the most beautiful creations to ever come out from the Ferrari factories, the iconic 250 GTO has been named the Mona Lisa of the automotive world. It's one of the scarcest Ferraris ever built, with only 36 units, and the most valuable one, breaking the record for the highest auction price with an incredible $70 million. When it comes to performance, it's, simply put, the road-going variant of the 250 Testarossa race car, offering one of the most visceral driving experiences of the 1960s, and powered by the legendary Colombo-designed 3.0-liter V12 with 296 horsepower available for fun on the streets. 6. Ferrari Enzo. Named after the company's founder, Enzo is worthy of all the praise and comes with all the qualities of a quintessential Ferrari. It couldn't have been otherwise, since it received that name. Released in 2002, and produced only until 2004, it came with the latest automotive technologies, many borrowed from the very successful F1 racing car from that period. The Ferrari Enzo came with carbon fiber body, carbon fiber seats, racing-type steering wheel with all the related buttons and switches, giving the interior the feel of a F1 car cockpit. A brand new longitudinally mounted 6.0-liter V12 powered the car, pushing it to a top speed of 217 miles per hour with the help of 660 horsepower. 5. LaFerrari. Which translates to the Ferrari was another model that, like the Enzo above, lived up to its name, powered by a hybrid 789 horsepower V12 with a 160 horsepower electric motor derived again from their F1 racing machine, making it the most powerful Ferrari to date, and one of the most impressive supercars of all time. It was actually one of the cars for which the term hypercar was coined. The exterior design of the LaFerrari is a true work of art, and in spite of the older models, it has earned its place in the top. 4. Ferrari F50. While it fell behind the success of the F40, the Ferrari F50 is still a marvel of the automotive world, another perfect example of Ferrari's incredible racing experience and craftsmanship. The newer F50, produced in the late 90s, kept the brand's tradition of leaving behind all the bells and whistles and the luxuries that characterized most other car brands, and came as a bare-bones F1-derived machine, with related aerodynamics and construction, remaining close to the brand's ethos. Under the hood, it came with a naturally aspirated 4.7-liter V12 from a Ferrari F1 race car. The F50 is a pure Ferrari, and one of the brand's best. 3. Ferrari SF90 Stradale. The SF90 Stradale is a homage to the 90th anniversary of Scuderia Ferrari, bringing together everything that the brand has achieved in terms of power and performance along the years. It's the brand's current flagship hypercar, the fastest and the most powerful Ferrari ever created. Equipped with 3 electric motors, 2 on the front axle and 1 in the rear, plus a 4.0-liter twin turbocharged V8, the car makes 986 horsepower in total, and only 2.5 seconds accelerating from 0 to 62 miles per hour. The modern design and the terrifying power make it worthy of the 3rd place on our list. 2. Ferrari Testarossa. The Testarossa is one of, if not the most popular Ferrari ever built. Back in the day, you could see it on posters on every Ferrari fan's bedroom wall, from children to grown men. A mid-engine beast with a naturally aspirated 4.9-liter V12, capable of 390 horsepower, it was the most powerful production car at the time. The design was groundbreaking, and nobody could ever forget the unique and mind-blowing trademark side strakes that spoke of speed even when sitting still. 1. Ferrari F40. Though one of the older Ferrari models, the F40 is the quintessential one, the purest materialization of what Ferrari was always about. Performance-wise, it was a beast with a mid-mounted 2.9-liter twin turbocharged V8 capable of 478 horsepower. Everything about its design speaks of speed and sheer power that many cars tried to copy and none matched. Built in honor of Ferrari's 40th anniversary, the F40 was the last model to be approved by Enzo. Ferrari is without doubt the most iconic and loved luxury car brand in the world. And these 20 models are the most iconic cars it ever produced. The ones that will remain in everyone's memory until the end of time. Of course, all Ferraris will go down in history, but these are the best of the best in our opinion. Do you have any other favorites? We hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to click that like button, leave a comment, and of course, subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.